Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and today I am back with another reading wrap-up. So this is wrapping up the books, the mere two books that I read in the past 2 weeks, or the latter half of June. Yeah, my reading progress in terms of quantity has been really bad, basically all year, which is really, I mean, it's not that bad, it's just that it's, normally I read about 10 books a year, or I mean 10 books a month, and now, yeah, this whole year mostly I've been reading like 5 books a month or less or whatever. It's like really sad. So anyway, I only read 2 books in the past couple of weeks, and I mean, I've also been really busy, all of that. I did actually just release a song a few days ago, so you guys should totally go and check it out. I will leave the link in my bio. And I also, it was my birthday yesterday, and it's really weird. But anyway, also, this is iPod. She's gonna say hi. So I just haven't filmed a whole lot in the last couple of weeks, really, because I don't know, just all of those things, and I just haven't had that many good ideas that I've really wanted to film. So even when I had a couple days where like filming was totally possible, I had all the time that I could have filmed, I had no videos that I particularly wanted to film, even though I really wanted to film something. I don't know. It's just really weird. So anyway, so I read 2 books in the last 2 weeks. One was, really good, and the other one was pretty bad. I mean, I'm not even gonna say it was that bad. I just really felt like it wasn't for me. There wasn't anything like bad about it. But anyway, I'll just get into the book. So Riders by Veronica Rossi. This is about a dude who discovers that he is the incarnation of the Horseman War, of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, all of that. So that sounds really cool in theory, but it was actually a really boring book, and they did like nothing interesting with that premise at all. The one thing that I did like about it is that the main character was actually really entertaining. He's only 18, but has had a lot of like really grown up experiences for his age, so he really thinks he knows everything. In like not just to the extent that the average 18-year-old would, but like he really thinks he knows like a lot more than he does, and he gets himself into a lot of trouble for stuff like that, where like he really just thinks that he knows more than other people, all of that. So that made him really entertaining and really interesting, but overall the whole premise of the book was really boring. I didn't even actually read all the way to the very end. I kind of stopped reading a little bit early because I was like, I don't even care. I don't know. So it's not even that there was anything particularly like bad that struck me as like this is a bad book or anything. Like there's nothing bad about it. I just really didn't enjoy reading it at all. I really thought it was super weak and boring, and I just really didn't like it. So it might still be something that a lot of people like. I just wouldn't. I don't know. I just personally wouldn't recommend it. I just don't think it was anything to write home about. And that kind of bums me out. So anyway, the other book that I read in the latter half of June was House of Salt and Sorrows. And this was a really, really interesting book that I actually had a really good time reading. This is basically about a girl who lives in this like really weird town in this fantasy world where her family is a very affluent, like noble family, but they have all been dying. Her mom and her sisters have been like dying for different reasons. And so, right from the beginning of the book, her oldest sister is being entombed basically in their like weird underwater tomb, all of that. And she has this stepmother who just really cannot read the room and is just like, oh, it'll be so exciting to announce that I'm pregnant and blah, blah, blah. Like at this funeral and all this crap. Like it's like really weird. So right off the bat, it starts off being a really good book. And then it just goes more and more into like how weird this whole like place is, and it's very dark and very horror-esque in a lot of ways. I had put off reading this book until now. I had meant to read it like a couple years ago or whatever, almost when it first came out. but I had been told that it was really scary, and I'm a gigantic wimp, and so I just like didn't. But it turned out that it really wasn't that scary at all. I mean, it definitely is very horror-esque and really dark, and there is some really creepy shit going on, but it's really, in terms of like how scary it is, it's really not that bad at all. But yeah, it's definitely really interesting. It's also a really interesting take on the 12 Dancing Princesses story, because that's basically what it's a loose retelling of. And it's just really weird all around, and I really liked reading it the whole way through. It got really dark at parts that like it made me really sad how dark it got, but it was ultimately a really good book. But anyway, so those are the books that I read in the latter half of June. I did sort of start a couple of other books and not finish them yet and stuff like that. And then most of the last couple of weeks were spent reading my most anticipated book of the year, Winterlight, Green Rider #7. So I've still been reading that. I really had hoped to finish reading it by the time I sat down to film this video so that I could include it in this. But it's just taking me so long to get through because it's just so good, and I haven't really been wanting it to be over. Not to mention it is a very long book. I feel like I've been reading it forever and it's still not over, and it's still like really action-packed and really good. But anyway, more about that in my TBR video. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye!